They're racing. The favourite jumped out reasonably well, Tsar Royale. Good go for the early leadership, and the Titanium Cover has it from Bull Market. Shin Can See is third, followed closely then by Stately Rhythm, and caught out pretty wide as they settle fully into stride. Bat Girl, followed closely by Southern Lass. Now, Tsar Royale's been given plenty of time to find her legs, and only one behind the favourite, that is Lease. 800 to travel. Bull Market to the lead from Shin Can See, and third Titanium Cover, followed closely by Southern Lass. King Lotto going up on the outside of it, and then Stately Rhythm, Bat Girl from Tsar Royale, and a couple of lengths to Lease. 500 left to go, and Bull Market shows the way. A length, Shin Can See, a couple into Titanium Cover. King Lotto given a couple of hard cracks with a whip from Stately Rhythm, Southern Lass, and then Bat Girl, Tsar Royale, and Lease. They straighten up in the first at Randwick, and Bull Market 3/4, Shin Can See. 2.5 to Stately Rhythm and Titanium Cover. King Lotto and Tsar Royale is on the extreme outside. She's still about 5 lengths from Bull Market at the 200 metres. She's starting to close, though. The leader, Bull Market, from on the outside, Tsar Royale. She's coming with big strides, and Lisa's made up many lengths. But the favourite, Tsar Royale, hits the front and is coming right away. And down to the line goes Tsar Royale to win well from Lise or Bull Market. And then came King Lotto, followed by Shin Can See, Stately Rhythm, Titanium Cover, Southern Lass, and the newcomer, Bat Girl, at the tail of the field.
Super Tab 6 Tsar Royale, 220 and 130. 7 Lease, 220. 2 Bull Market, 240.
At 250 and 130. 7 looks to have got second from this angle. Lease, ridden by Rodney Quinn, at 220. And number 2, Bull Market, handled by Justin Sheehan, at $2.30. Well, she made amends today for Easter Monday, didn't she? Tsar Royale by Zabeel from Darra Princess, raced by Wally Truscott and Mrs. Jack Denham, a Bay Filly 2, and of course trained by Jack Denham and ridden by Brian York. Is it going to be a good day for Brian? He's got some very good rides, and of course, talking about Brian and Jack, well, all things being equal, they should win with might and power, shouldn't they? 7 second, Lease, good run. Officially second, Lease by Quest for Fame from Charter, trained by John Hawkes, Rod Quinn, first up since December. And number 2, third, Bull Market, is by Trading Range from Deja Slew, a 2-year-old chestnut colt, Paul Engelbrecht at Scone, J. Sheehan. Number 5 ran 4th, King Lotto. The time was 1:12.80. 1:12.80. That's 3.5 seconds outside Status Symbol's class record, and we require a sectional time. 6:72 on the first in Sydney.
Brockenhurst, 11.
Zuma League and Altitude bounce very quickly, and they beat out Macassar Symphony, settling fourth, and further back when they settle down into stride, Grand Archway going forward now. Cannonball in front of the early point. Grand Archway is going up second, third Altitude and Zuma League running fourth. Then came pushing up on the outside of those Winged Hope, 2.5 further back Macassar Symphony, and they're followed by Wajib Star. Ocean Fast, and 2 lengths further back Ponching, and last of all Chemistry at the 950 metre mark. Winged Hope worked around the outside to join Cannonball, a length and a half Grand Archway. 2 further back Altitude running fourth, Zuma League fifth on the outside, 3 lengths off the front. A length and a half further back then came Macassar Symphony. Ocean Fast improving the rail. Further back Ponching, followed by Wajib Star and Chemistry last of all. Bunching up at the 650 metre mark now before the turn. Cannonball just in front now from Winged Hope. Grand Archway and Zuma League is 4 out and 5 out on the outside. Macassar Symphony when they turn for home. Into the straight they come, 500 metres to go, and Zuma League striding up to Cannonball, and on the outside Macassar Symphony. 2 further back Wajib Star, and further back Grand Archway at the 300 metre mark. Zuma League given a crack with the whip. Cannonball the inside, a length and a half further back then Wajib Star. Then came Ponching and Grand Archway getting out. The favourite under pressure here, Zuma League. Grand Archway moving to it now. Zuma League and Grand Archway come away to fight it out. Zuma League the inside. Grand Archway gets on terms. They're going stride for stride. Ocean Fast late. It's Grand Archway in front, and Grand Archway a neck of the Ocean Fast grabs second, and nose in front of Zuma League, who had his chance further back in the race. Then the outside is what would have been Macassar Symphony, followed by Ponching. The inside of those then Cannonball. A gap in the race then to Wajib Star, Chemistry, well back Altitude and Winged Hope.
And number 2 Grand Archway, 9:20 and 2:30. 4 Ocean Fast, 150. 3 Zuma League, 1:20.
2 Grand Archway, 880 and 240. Second to number 4 Ocean Fast, 140, and 3 Zuma League to pay $1.20. Just wrapping up the late mail.
Off in the second here at Randwick, Spectacular Zip slow to go, and the same for Clorinda. Bridal Chance getting back as was expected, and Verdict Declared shot through along the inside to lead the New Zealand mare. What Can I Say, a length and a half. Third is Blue Butterfly, and except wider out fourth. 2.5 to Airs and Graces, deep contentious in the middle. Clorinda the inside, and a couple of lengths Spectacular Zip and Bridal Chance. 800 metres to go, and Verdict Declared leads by about a length and 3/4 now. What Can I Say in close attendance second, a length away third is Except on the outside of Blue Butterfly. About 2.5 lengths then to contentious between Clorinda the inside and Airs and Graces wider out. Bridal Chance being second last, and a couple of lengths to Spectacular Zip, travelling to the bend at the 500, and Verdict Declared is the leader, a length on What Can I Say. In the third position as they swing into the straight now, on the outside Blue Butterfly, and then comes Airs and Graces Except, but What Can I Say quickly accelerated and raced well clear, and as they travel to the 200, What Can I Say, a length and a half on Airs and Graces. Bridal Chance is starting to hit top gear, but it's still a couple of lengths off What Can I Say. What Can I Say in front, except on the outside Airs and Graces trying to get What Can I Say, but can't, and the New Zealand mare wins it well. What Can I Say has beaten Airs and Graces, Bridal Chance third, and they've blitzed the others, headed there by Verdict Declared from Blue Butterfly, and over on the inside Contentious, and then Except second last Spectacular Zip, and Absolute was Clorinda.
Number 8, What Can I Say, to pay 350 and 180. Number 6, Airs and Graces, 190, and 1 Bridal Chance, 140.
And 170 for the place. 350 and 170. Number 6, Airs and Graces, El Cassidy second, has paid 190. And number 1, Bridal Chance, ridden by B. York in the third spot. And the dividend is $1.50. 8, 6, and 1 are the placings on the Sapphire Stakes. What Can I Say, trained by Jenny Vance. In New Zealand, from Takanini, of course, Bobby Vance will be well remembered as the rider of many top-class horses, particularly McGinty, and Bob the hubby of Jenny. And What Can I Say is owned by Mr. J.Y. Quiros, a chestnut mare 4 by Kozam from Plans Awry, and was always in touch with the lead, sitting about a length and a half second to the corner, but when Shane Dye went for her, she showed a good turn of foot, and under the 52 she was much too strong for Airs and Graces. A Palace Music mare out of Aspirations. John Hawkes, Larry Cassidy, and Bridal Chance got home reasonably well by wide bridle from Chance Ball, Brian York, Max Lees. 8, 6, 1, and number 12 was fourth in that race, and that was Blue Butterfly. The time was 1:12.38. 1:12.38. That was a little quicker than the 2-year-olds of 1:12.80, and we've got the sectional time to come. But too good. What Can I Say in race 2?
We'll see him at 4 Berry Street Fish Week. Protect your...
Away they go, they're off and running, and Worthy Knight and Hussar's Best and the grey Turf Tavern jumped away quickly. Here's the first of their 15 fences. Over they go, all over safely. And when they balance now around the outside, Newton showing good speed. There's a fair gap now between the first and second fences along the back. And on the flat, it's Newton taking up the running, about 2.5 in front now from Barrowy Lord. Moving up on the outside of it is Outback Bronze, but he wants to fight the rider. Over on the inside, Turf Tavern, Wonder Belka Pie, and a half tick over on the inside, Worthy Knight, Wonder Naruma Guy. Then Usurper, followed by the Arabian, 2 to Picasso, and last of all, Hussar's Best. Here's the second, and this free goer out in front is Newton. He jumped at 3 in front, and there's one down out the back here. Tick Over has gone over. Tick Over is down at the second fence, and coming up towards the steeple lane they race, and Newton in front. Here's the third. He's 2.5 to 3 in front. Oh, he measured it, but just got away with it in front of Outback Bronson, Barrowy Lord, Wonder Belkapine, and then Turf Tavern, followed by Worthy Knight. 2 or 3 the Arabian, Usurper outside it, 2 lengths Picasso, and then Naruma Guy, and last of all Hussar's Best. And Tick Over's up at his feet, but dumped the rider at the second fence. Here's the first of 3 down the steeple lane, and the leader here is Newton. Got over at 2.5 in front of Outback Bronson, Barrowy Lord, saving ground on the rail. As they come up to the next one now, and the leader is Newton, 2.5 Barrowy Lord and Outback Bronze, a length into Balcapine, 3 to Turf Tavern. Then Worthy Knight, a gap to Usurper, followed by Picasso, then Naruma Guy, the Arabian, Hussar's Best. As they come down towards the third fence here, this is the one that they won't jump the next time round, and Newton over in a length in front with a lap to go. Second on the inside, Barrowy Lord, and Outback Bronze nice and handy, so's Belcapine on the outside of him. They're about 2.5 to Worthy Knight, running fifth, about 3 further back in the race then. Turf Tavern now taking closer order, followed by Usurper, Picasso, Hussar's Best, and then Naruma Guy, and last of all the Arabian. 4 on the riverside. Here's the first of 4, And the leader is Newton over it in front now. Moving up on the outside, Outback Bronze. Burrowy Lord's right there, and so's Belcapine. Only about a length and a half covering that quartet. As they go up to the second, about 4 further back in the race, running 5th is Worthy Knight from Turf Tavern. 2 lengths further back in the race, Usurper from Picasso as they go over the next fence. 3 then to Hussar's Best, who wrapped it. Naruma Guy's a mile back, and so too the Arabian. Last of 4 along the back there at the riverside. Outback Bronze quickly went up to Newton, and Belcapine's right there as they go to the next one. This is the first one they jumped on the first round. Nearly 3 in line. Outback Bronze, Newton. Belcapine joins in quickly now to head them. About 5 further back, Burrowy Lord. 2 then to Worthy Knight under some pressure. Usurper's gone past it from Turf Tavern. A long gap, Hussar's Best, and then Picasso. I think you can nearly forget them. Down the back they race with about 1100 to go. Belcapine drew a half in front of Newton. A length and a half then to Outback Bronze. The rider at him now. 2 to Usurper, running on very ominously. About 2 further back, Burrowy Lord. Then Worthy Knight and Turf Tavern. They come up to the one at the 850 metre mark. Belcapine, 2.5. Newton, Usurper quickly to third. 2 to Worthy Knight, fourth, followed by Burrowy Lord. Hard at it, Outback Bronze, and then Turf Tavern, the grey pull to the outside. Running up with about 650 to go. 3 fences out. Belcapine in front, but Usurper strode to it. Here's the third last, Usurper, Belcapine. 3 in front of Newton, Burrowy Lord, Worthy Knight, Turf Tavern. As they come around the home turn now, they've got 2 fences to go. And Usurper quickly took the lead, sprinted clear. Race 3 lengths in front now from Belcapine. 2 or 3 then to Newton, Burrowy Lord, followed by Worthy Knight. But coming to the second last, and Usurper's got a big break, comes to it, jumped it well, landed 5 in front of Belcapine. It'll be a battle for the minors. Then Turf Tavern and Worthy Knight, 1 fence out. Usurper comes down to it, or clipped the top of it, landed 6 or 7 in front from Belcapine. Turf Tavern, Burrowy Lord, Turf Tavern running on well, but the race is over. It's all over now, and it's this fellow Usurper out about 6 or 7 in front. He's looking under his arm at the opposition. It's Turf Tavern to second from Belcapine, but Usurper wins easily, scores about 5 lengths. Second, Turf Tavern, 2 away. Third, Belcapine just got it, I'd say, from Worthy Knight. Then Newton, Burrowy Lord, a long gap in the race, Outback Bronze, followed by Naruma Guy, the Arabian, with him Hussar's Best. And Picasso hasn't completed the course. He's coming down the outside of the jumps.
And number 5, Usurper, $6, $2.20. 4 Turf Tavern, $3.30. 7 Belcapine, $2.90.
Right, at the barrier, Victoria Park, race 3, Melbourne. Prince Standout open 7.20. Gold Boom favourite 3.
They're off in the Champagne Stakes, and Trusted was first to leave. Look for Mars second. A Glacier on the inside. Happy and You Know It not far back. Likewise, Mossman, a length Arena, and the stablemate of Arena Dracula is another length and a half behind him. As they settle fully into stride, and here it's Trusted just in front, but Look for Mars is keen to lead. And racing down to the 1200 metres, Look for Mars a neck on Trusted, a length and a half. Happy and You Know It on the outside of a Glacier. 3 lengths to Mossman, a length Arena, and 1 to Dracula. 8 lengths covers the field in the Champagne as they swing the first corner and race onto the 1,000 metres. And Look for Mars got away by 2 lengths now on Trusted. Happy and You Know It third on the outside of a Glacier. A little more than a length to Mossman on the outside of Arena, and 1 to Dracula last as they come onto the side. And over the crossing at the 850, no change in the order. And Look for Mars, the rank outsider in the small field, out 2 lengths on Trusted. Happy and You Know It third. A Glacier fourth on the rails, and then Mossman a length and a quarter off to Arena, and 3/4 to Dracula the outside, who'd be 8 lengths off the lead, occupied by Look for Mars, and 500 to go. Look for Mars being sent along in front by 2.5 lengths on Trusted. A length to Happy and You Know It, called upon by Greg Charles. A Glacier being ridden hard by York, then Mossman, Dracula to the extreme outside, and Arena's last. A compact lot, 300 left to go. Trusted got to Look for Mars with Happy and You Know It, and Dracula joining in with Mossman. A Glacier will run nearly last. It's Happy and You Know It, Dracula on the outside, and Mossman between them. Happy and You Know It, Dracula the outside. They've beaten off Mossman. It's Happy and You Know It and Dracula going to the line together. Dracula got there. Dracula a short half head. Happy and You Know It. Very close between Mossman and Arena for third. A long margin of Glacier Trusted, and tailed off Look for Mars.
Number 2, Dracula, 241.60. 7, Happy and You Know It, 230. There'll be no third for 3 or 5.
I tell you what, Happy and You Know It, isn't that a nice mouthful? Number 2, Dracula, ridden by L. Cassidy, 250 and 150. Real tussle it. Happy and You Know It with Mossman between them. In fact, it's pretty close for third too, between Mossman and Arena. But Dracula, 250 and 150 on the New South Wales tote. 7, Happy and You Know It was showing 230. And the only interest in third will be, of course, as far as punters are concerned, the trifecta. Dracula trained by John Hawkes for the Woodland Stud, and is by quest for fame from awards ceremony, a 2-year-old brown colt, ridden by Larry Cassidy. There's the winner, number 2, Dracula first. Number 7 is second, Happy and You Know It. A brown filly 2 by Yachty from Easter Queen, Michael Moroney, Greg Childs, and no sign of the third. 2, 7, and a further look at the computer image. 1:39.67. That's 4.47 outside of the race record. And Dracula has now had 7 starts, 4 wins and a second. It was a slogging finish over the concluding stages. And I'll tell you one thing. Glacier did not handle the conditions one iota. He was given a lovely run from the inside, boxed by Brian York, but he was a spent force even as far as the home turn was concerned. A lot of that breed just do not handle it. Mahogany was a case in question, a classic case. Some of the last tycoons, they just can't pick their feet up in it. All right, 2, 7 and a photo, 4:30 Quinella. Exacta has paid 9.60 and the trifecta is not yet available. Must be very, very close for third.
Get that number in a moment. Now 3 has got third, Mossman. 273 Sydney. They're about to move up at Queanbeyan for the second. Let's go out to Tony.
Yeah, Paul.
Funny now, came out in a good line with Bradman after the start, dropping out to the rear. First out, Per Bright from Aussie Prospector, and going quickly around the outside now, Flying Josh Dan. Settling down, Per Bright in front, led about a neck to Flying Josh Dan, a length into Prince Stand Down up third. They're followed by Quality Way on the inside of Aussie Prospector, and Vocalist pushed up in the middle, 2 further back, Exponential. Over on the inside, third last in the race along the back of the track would have been Obscetic. Second last is Gold Boom and Bradman the Grey 2 lengths away. Up the back they go. Prince Stand Down pulling hard, went up on the outside here of Flying Josh Dan, led by about a head off the fence now. Prince Stand Down from Flying Josh Dan inside it. 2.5 further back, Vocalist third on the outside of Per Bright fourth. 2 to Aussie Prospector on the inside, Quality Way, a length and a half, Exponential. They're followed by Obscetic, a length into Gold Boom, about 8 or 9 off the front, and Bradman last of all. 800 to go. Prince Stand Down went around this leader now and crossed to the fence to lead a length and a half. Vocalist took up the slack up second. Third on the inside is Flying Josh Dan, and Per Bright is following Vocalist now fourth. Then Aussie Prospector followed by Quality Way, Exponential and Obscenic as they come up to the home turn. Gold Boom still a fair way back, about to hook out very wide, and Bradman last of all. Around the turn they race at the 500-metre mark, and the leader is Prince Stand Down from Vocalist on the outside, issuing the challenge 2 to Per Bright. Then Aussie Prospector Bradman coming right down the outside. Gold Boom with Exponential. Prince Stand Down in front at the 300-metre mark from Vocalist, who can't get there. Bradman back to the fence, then Per Bright followed out wider by running on only fairly Gold Boom. Prince Stand Down in front, drifting out. Bradman grabs it on the inside. Then Obscenic, it's Bradman up on the inside in front. Obscenic getting a late run through. Bradman, Obscenic, Bradman, I'd say a nose Obscenic on the line. Third, Prince Stand Down. Further back then came Aussie Prospector, followed by Gold Boom. Back behind them then Per Bright from Quality Way. Then came Exponential. Further back, Vocalist gave in quickly, and Flying Josh Dan last of all.
Number 5, Bradman, 8.50 and 2.40. 8, Obscenic, 4.30. 1, Prince Stand Down, 1.70.
Victor Gray will hang on and get this a nose.
5 Bradman, 7.50 and 2.20. Number 8, Obscenic to return, 4.50, and 1 Prince Stand Down, 1.80.
It's at Bradman. The Greys got in here. Bradman, number 5, from number 8, Obscenic, and Prince Stand Down, number 1, is third.
As Cole Kembler, 13, 1.15 in race.
Okay, it's 2:15, the National Racing Service, Triple S FM. We'll take a further break.
Head to Wagga for 3 days of top racing action. Thursday, April 30 to Saturday, the 2nd of May.
Classic in Australia. And they're racing in the AJC St Ledger. The favourite jumped quite well on here. She's right up there in the early stages with Go Chisel. On the inside, Indianapolis, and not all that far away is Court of Honour as they swing into the straight. And then Bridal Man, Cossack Beauty, followed by on the outside Magic, and deeper still is Magical Puff. And then back in the saddle and a couple of lengths to It's a Breeze racing on the inside of Lahar. Go Chisel to its normal roll, leading and down to the 100 metres. Go Chisel has a break of a length and 3/4 now on Bridal Bridle Man. Third posse is Indianapolis. Fourth, Magic Wider out. On Air's getting a lovely run. One off the rails. Fifth, a length and a half, Cossack Beauty on the inside of Court of Honour. Then back in the saddle inside of Magical Path. And a couple of lengths to It's a Breeze parked inside of Lahar. Turning out of the straight and racing along by the 2,000 marker, and Gold Chisel about 2.5 lengths clear. Travelling second is Magic, and Malcolm Fitzgerald trying to get the horse over a bit closer to the rails. Bridle Man is third. Indianapolis next, a length and 3/4 to On Air, followed by Cossack Beauty parked over on the inside of Court of Honour. Then a break two, back in the saddle, Magical Path. Lahar being second last, and It's a Breeze is last of all. The nicely coloured grey, Go Chisel is the leader over the 1600 crossing and working to the back of the course now. Go Chisel out by 2 lengths on Magic, 5 away to Bridle Man, another 5 lengths or so to Indianapolis, 3/4 to On Air the outer. A couple Court of Honour, Cossack Beauty, 2.5 Magical Path back in the saddle, and still It's a Breeze and Lahar are the joint tail enders, and the St Ledger field is stringing out noticeably. They race along past the 1300, more than half the race has been covered, and Go Chisel being sent along by the rider Kevin Moses, the little Aussie battler, in inverted commas, and Go Chisel to the far corner about a length and a half on Magic, sitting right on Go Chisel's hammer. 8 lengths off next, Bridle Man, 2 lengths to On Air, gradually making a little bit of ground from Indianapolis, who's starting to feel the pinch, and then comes Court of Honour, followed by back in the saddle, and then on the outside Magical Path. Another length to It's a Breeze, Lahar, and Cossack Beauty's right out of its depth. 800 metres to go, and Magic races up to Go Chisel, who threw in the towel very quickly. 2 lengths to Bridle Man, a length and a half to On Air, and then a break to Court of Honour. It's a Breeze has made up many lengths, followed by Lahar on the inside. Back in the saddles a mile away and under the whip. Then Indianapolis, Magical Path, and forget about Cossack Beauty. To the corner in the AJC St Ledger. On Air is starting to loom up with Bridle Man. The leader Magic on Saffron's. Bridle Man quickly got the better of it, and Bridle Man straightens up, a length and a half clear on Air. Johnny Marshall had a peep to the left. 2 lengths to It's a Breeze and about 4 to Court of Honour. 250 to go. Corey Brown pulls the persuader on Bridle Man. Marshall likewise on Air, who can't catch Bridle Man, and a long margin to It's a Breeze, but Bridle Man from the Brian Lawson stable at Warwick Farm is going to give Brian his biggest win to date. Bridle Man racing away from On Air. Court of Honour will get third, but Bridle Man wins the St Ledger. Bridle Man beat On Air, and Court of Honour a distant third from It's a Breeze, Lahar, Magic. Oh, they're coming in at long intervals. Magical Path, Go Chisel back in the saddle. Indianapolis and Cossack Beauty will go down in the books as finishing about 200 metres off in last position.
About to move up Queanbeyan, 10 Bridle Man, 780, 190, 11 On Air to return 120, 1 Court of Honour, 180. Treble 8 to 10, $96.10.
The kick out of that win this afternoon. He's been a battler, and that has given him his biggest success. He was a very good run, Bridle Man, in the Derby, wasn't he, really, when you think about it? And maybe the Oaks has flattened On Air, and she didn't look a hope in hell of getting to Bridle Man over the last 100 metres. Bridle Man, 690 and 190, number 10. Second placing going to number 11, On Air, has returned 120, and number 1, Court of Honour, third, Greg Childs, has paid 190. Brian Lawson has worked for a number of big trainers throughout his career. He worked with Graham Rogerson here at Randwick for a long stretch, and I think Brian worked for Bart too. Anyway, he's a great horseman, and he'd be a delighted man right now. He puts the polish on this white bridle gelding for CSR of PC White, R.O. Abernethy, or R.O. Abernethy, and R.B. Thomas. A brown gelding 3 by white bridle from Femininity, Corey Brown. Now, this was a superfecta, but we haven't got 4th and 5th. They've delivered the 6th number, but we haven't got 4th and 5th. This, you know, it's one of the wonders of modern technology. We should have those coming up on the screen shortly, surely. The runner-up there, On Air, as I say, I think probably the Oaks runners just flattened her a little by my preferido from Kayaru Flight, Anthony Cummings, John Marshall, and, well, maybe Bridle Man was still too good for her. Maybe the Oaks run didn't flatten her, and maybe Bridle Man is just the better horse on the day. And Court of Honour by Law Society, Captive Island, Peter Hayes, Greg Charles. Here's the 4th coming up now. Number 8, It's a Breeze. Number 12, Lahar ran 5th, and 6th went to number 3, and that was Magic. 10, 11, 1, 8, 12, 3. They've run 3 minutes, .40. 3 minutes, .40, and that is 5 seconds outside the race and course record held by Boart. Cornella 5.80, Exacta paid $17.50, and the trifecta at $72.90. Extra double, $24.20, superfecta to come.
Getting set at Queanbeyan. In fact, they are set. Here's Tony.
This is the...
Out in a good line with the exception of Seasky, the old-timer. He didn't want to go early, and bouncing quickly Mustang Red with Shearer Claude and Rembedica up 3rd early. Further back in the race then came up 4th now Laird's Ace around Perfect Bound. Super Lad went back with only 3 behind him, and they are above the law. They're followed by Take or Leave It and Seasky last of all. At Chiquita Lodge now, Shearer Claude took over in the lead now at the 12.50 metre mark, out by a length and a half Mustang Red. 2 to Rembedica, 1 Laird's Ace. Further back then Perfect Bound. Super Lad is over on the inside of it running 6. 2 lengths further back above the law. Seasky on the outside of Take or Leave It. They bunch up a little now as they go to the 1,000 metre mark. It's Shearer Claude with only an even speed, about a length and 3/4 to Mustang Red, 1.5 from Rembedica. They're followed by Laird's Ace 3 deep around Perfect Bound away from the fence. 2 lengths to Super Lad. On the outside of it above the law, Seasky is out 3 deep at a length then to Take or Leave It last of all. 7.50 out. Shearer Claude hasn't gone hard in the front. He led by a length and a half to Mustang Red. 3rd is Rembedica, followed further back by Laird's Ace. Perfect Bound pushing up in the middle. Further back then in the race came Super Lad, now getting off the fence above the law, and Seasky outside him, and Take or Leave It last for home. On the turn, Shearer Claude over a length in front. He tried to go for home, got a length and a half in front of Mustang Red, Perfect Bound. Then Rembedica, further back then Super Lad trying to get to the centre of the track, followed by Laird's Ace. He's into the clear now, Super Lad, but 3 lengths off them. Shearer Claude being tackled by Perfect Bound and Mustang Red. A length and a half then to Super Lad, taking his time to wind up, and Rembedica back to the fence. The leader, Shearer Claude, on the outside, Perfect Bound. Rembedica back on the rail. Shearer Claude in front of Rembedica and Perfect Bound, and Shearer Claude a half neck to Rembedica, a head away 3rd, Perfect Bound. A gap in the race, Mustang Red above the law, Seasky. Super Lad didn't finish it off from Take or Leave It, and Laird's Ace is last of all.
And the winner number 7, Shearer Claude, $5.20, $2, 5 Rembedica, $2.70, 2 Perfect Bound, $1.90.
Number 7, Shearer Claude to pay $5.40, $1.90, 5 Rembedica, $2.80, and 2 Perfect Bound, $2.10. That's 7.52 on that 4th on the program at Flemington today. The next there, race number 5, the first leg of the daily double, is due to go at 3:24. It is the main event of the day there, the Cadbury St Ledger Stakes. It's 8 minutes to 3, more totes coming through.
And away to a good start too. Might and Power, hard ridden by York to try and get the lead off Champagne, and going very swiftly is Juggler. Almost 3 in line at the end of 200 metres from Dannemora, then into Gaze and a couple to Catlin opening. Might and Power in front clearly now, working towards the 1650. It's about 3/4 of a length on Juggler. So Stephen King is not letting York get away on Might and Power, although to the back of the course at the 1500. Might and Power about a length and a half on Juggler, followed by Champagne close up inside of Juggler. 2.5 to the rank outside of Dannemora, parked on the inside of Intergaze, and a length and 3/4 to Catlin opening. Down the back of the track they gallop and along towards the 1300 metres, and Might and Power. The big horse is clear and rolling now. He's about 2.5 lengths in fact on Juggler. 3/4 to Champagne on the inside, another 2.5 to Dannemora. At its girth on the outside, Intergaze, and a length and a half further back is Catlin opening. They race out of the back straight and on past the 1000 marker. There's no change in order, and Might and Power is the leader by 3 lengths on Juggler. 2.5 in the 3rd spot Champagne, a length and a half then to Intergaze, ahead Dannemora, and 1 to Catlin opening. To the crossing at the 850, and the leader is Might and Power. Given a spell here by Brian York. He's about 3.5 lengths on Juggler. Another couple of lengths to Champagne. Catlin opening has passed Dannemora and Intergaze. Intergaze has dropped out stone motherless with 600 left to go, and the leader is Might and Power. Power. He's 3 lengths on Juggler. He's gone further ahead, Mighten Power. He's 4 Juggler. Stephen King desperate on Juggler. And Champagne has passed Juggler, then Catlin opening, but straightening up. And I can hear the crowd beginning to bubble. Mighten Power, he put 5 lengths Champagne. 2.5 lengths further back, Catlin opening, followed by Juggler. But down past the 200, Brian York has a peep. And am I watching the world's greatest stayer? I think I am. Mighten Power is 8 lengths on Champagne, 2 Catlin opening, and he is a freak racehorse, Mighten Power. Mighten Power absolutely pulverised his rivals in the Queen Elizabeth to beat Champagne and Catlin opening. They're coming in at long intervals, Juggler, Dannemora and Intergaze last. He is the world's best stayer, without a doubt. And as I said to Brian Martin on 4-way Turf Talk this morning,